Hey Eden, so I'm going to walk you through this first presentation. And just so you know, I like to do these screen recordings for every presentation that I give to clients just because I feel like it's easier for me to talk through stuff. I feel like it's a little bit easier on my client to make sure they understand everything that I'm presenting. So this is what I'll be doing for every presentation from here on out. So the first page of every presentation is always going to be like this. It's just kind of a little quick intro that explains what this presentation is about, why it's important to the process, and just kind of giving you a heads up on what to expect as you look through the rest of it. So for this week, we're doing creative direction. So for me, this is kind of my chance to summarize everything that I learned from the questionnaire that you filled out. And really, it's just a chance for us to make sure that we are on the same page as far as what the vision is for the branding, and a chance for me to present some visual inspiration that I've gathered and explain some different design decisions that I think we should make that are going to really capture what you want to convey to your audience and help you build those strong connections. So that's kind of what this presentation is going to be about. All right, so first, I always like to create sort of a brand mission statement for clients. This is something really short and sweet, but it's something that I'm going to reference over and over and over again as I'm working on logo concepts and everything. So it's very important for us to kind of nail this down in the beginning. So for you, I wrote a branding experience that makes your audience feel inspired and cared for as they plan their weddings. An identity that is bespoke, stylish, and genuine. So again, the purpose of this is to be sort of like a mission statement for your brand. It just sort of captures, one, how we want to make your audience feel, what they're looking for when they come to you, and words that you want them to associate with your business. So these are all the key things that I feel like when put together, that just kind of gives us an overall goal of what the branding needs to accomplish. And like I said, it's something that as I'm working on logo concepts, I'll be referencing this again and again, just so I can make sure that anything that I create, I feel like it aligns with this. Next, I like to do a little description of the audience. So for you, your audience is mainly couples, and I feel like it's probably more so the brides who are reaching out to you, but couples who are 25 to 35, and they're searching for an event planner to help them create a wedding weekend full of bliss. I loved that language that you used. I just pulled that from the questionnaire. So they want someone who not only knows the industry and does high quality work, but also cares deeply about their clients. They're drawn to your warm, gentle approach and appreciate how you capture the beauty of classic traditions. So again, here I'm trying to cover some key things that I think are really important and need to be highlighted in your branding. So one, what really matters to your clients is that they want someone who's not only good at what they do and creates, beautiful weddings, but actually cares about their clients. You said that's what you had kind of learned was something that set you apart in the really saturated industry in your area, is that clients felt like you actually cared about them. You didn't just want to get the project done and be done with it. You were gentle, you were warm, you were friendly towards them, and that's what made them trust you so much more. And that's something we really need to try to convey through the branding, is that warmth and that friendly, welcoming approach that you have. And then also, of course, your style, which is very classic and traditional and beautiful and simple. So yeah, these are all things that I think that we need to be highlighting through the branding. Then I like to list out a few different adjectives and words that we want your audience to associate with you. And you listed you picked some different adjectives in the questionnaire, and you also listed some extra ones, which was really helpful. So thanks for doing that. But yeah, so these are some adjectives that I pulled from those lists. And that I think are going to be great for us, again, to reference as we're working on the logos and stuff. We want to make sure that anything we create or decide on aligns with these words, because that's what's going to keep everything very consistent. Okay, now this is the visual inspiration that I have gathered. And quickly, before I start kind of explaining it, you don't need to really worry about color just yet. That's not what I'm concerned with whenever I pick these images. I'm just looking at stuff for the design or the layout or the overall aesthetic, not really the colors. We'll get into color not next week, but the week after that, because I feel like color can kind of skew people's preferences a little bit. And I'm sure that you deal with that too if you're helping people while planning their weddings with color stuff. But yeah, that's why I like to just not really worry about color yet. We'll get to it later. So with all of this visual inspiration, you can see that there's a little number up here in the corner, and that number goes along with one of the categories over here. So I like to organize it a little bit so that it's easier for me to explain. But we'll start with all of the different ones, which are inspiration for your logo or typography that we're going to use. So for your logo, we want it to be timeless and stylish and feel, classic, just like the style you said, sort of that Southern traditional style that a lot of your clients are going for. We obviously want to convey that, but we still want it to feel very friendly and very warm, like your personality and the thing that really sets you apart. So that's kind of why I picked some of these. Let me zoom in here. That's kind of why I picked some of these. I love this font that they're using right here. I think, it could feel very luxurious and stuff, but since they have the lowercase letter paired with it, that kind of makes it feel a bit more approachable and more friendly. So I love that, and it does feel very elegant. This font, I really love this font, and let me zoom in a little bit more too. I really love this font because it does feel very classic, but at the same time, since some of these letters, they're very round. It's hard to explain, but the curves and how some of the curves are a bit exaggerated. Like some of these letters feel not bubbly, but the roundness is more exaggerated than what you would normally expect. Like if you look at this one, the roundness is more exaggerated. And that just kind of makes it automatically feel a bit more friendly because, again, I don't want to use the word bubbly, but I feel like that's the best thing to describe it, is that it feels a little bit more playful maybe, but yeah, just not quite as structured and not quite as structured and official as a standard serif font that you would be using. But yeah, I think overall it feels more friendly, a bit more warm and approachable while still feeling really classic and stylish. So I think that can be a good direction as well. This font, again, this one's just gorgeous. I think that it could work really well also. But the idea I'm most excited about is from this middle image. I love the idea of creating a monogram, and since it'll be Ellis Event Design, obviously the E will be kind of like the main letter in your name. So I love the idea of creating a monogram that kind of looks like a drop cap, some of those older, really illustrative drop caps that you'll find in books, because they're meant to mark the beginning of a story. And I love that idea of trying to convey how, you're planning weddings, which are like the beginning of your clients' stories. So I think that that could be a really beautiful way to tie in that deeper meaning while also creating a really beautiful mark that you could use on collateral and, wherever. So let me know what you think about that idea. Then let's move to the number 2. So those are for print collateral, since I know we talked about you wanting something that you can send to clients either as a thank you or maybe a welcome gift. So I have 2 examples for that. So this is also some font inspiration as well, I guess, but just something that's very simple and minimal because, again, you want your clients to feel at ease. You want to ease all of that stress of planning the wedding. So having a layout that's more simple and just kind of feels like a breath of fresh air is really going to help calm them down and feel like, okay, Ian's got this. She's taking care of this. We don't have to worry anymore. And it's also beautiful, to have something that's a bit more simple. So that's why I picked these 2 examples as inspiration, lots of white space. And then also with this one, I love the idea of using some vellum or transparent paper as just, some extra texture and like softness to add to it. And I love how, it's not busy. There's just a little gold foil mark here, which again, I'm thinking, if we made a drop cap type of monogram, if that was there, that would be really fun and beautiful. So that's what I was envisioning. And then the last few images, the number 3s, those are just some examples from your website and your Instagram. So sometimes I like to just throw in some examples of clients' work so that you can, it makes it really easy for you to envision how these design style choices match up with the style of the work that you're already doing. So that's why those are in there. And that's all that I have. So, just take your time. You have until end of the day Monday to give me your feedback, and you can just click on this link here to do that. It'll be through the client portal where you filled out the questionnaire and everything, so you can find it there. But yeah, so I'll have some feedback questions for you there to answer. And then, of course, if you have questions or something, or you want to talk through it, you can also schedule a call with me sometime next week if you want to discuss everything. But yeah, let me know if you have questions, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. I'm so excited about everything so far. So yeah, I just can't wait to hear what you think.